Your ideal client is not someone who doesn't know what the hell they're doing. Your ideal client is not somebody who is coming up from the bottom and needs somebody to hold their hand the whole way through. Your favorite client is not someone who doesn't have the sense to make basic good choices for themselves. You know what I mean? You have to remember that you're speaking to somebody in their higher mind. You're speaking to someone who is in wisdom, and you're speaking to someone who is able to do enough healing on her own, and she's just ready for the next level. And she needs the specific tweaks or the specific genius that you have in your offers and in your magic that is just the key she needs to unlock her next level. The reason you have difficult clients is because you're speaking to people who are in fear mode. So when you get in your stories and in your posts, you're not going to speak to someone who's in fear mode or lack mode or whatever the fuck it is. You're not going to speak to someone who is in revenge mode or any of that kind of stuff. Be very intuitive and very careful with how you talk about your magic and your offers and your results in your stories and in your posts. Be very careful about who it is you're speaking to. Write it out and read it over again, over and over again, and look at your exact words and make sure that you're not talking to someone who is in fear mode and is someone who's going to act from a place of fear. Your client is acting from a place of wisdom and from a place of, I've done this much, but I'm ready for more. And someone who is really in touch with their higher mind and in touch with their own personal wisdom. So you're not going to say, this protection spell is going to make sure that everything he did to you is going to be bounced back to him, and he's going to suffer like you did, and he's going to pay for it, and whatever. That's not where your favorite client is. Someone who is intelligent, who is, like I say, in touch with her higher level. She's not thinking about revenge and making somebody pay and shit like that through magic. She's not thinking about that. She's thinking about how she's going to grow, how she's going to get to her next level, how she's going to be stronger energetically, how she's going to be resilient. Because if you're speaking to clients who are coming from a place of fear, coming from a place of lack, coming from a place of confusion or anything like that, or a client who is extremely hurt by a certain thing and they're wanting healing from someone who's going to hold their hand, treat them like a baby, and talk to them like they need some kind of a pep talk or a confidence boost or something like that. Your ideal client is someone who is on a different plane altogether and doesn't need the confidence boost. She already knows what she's about. She's way up here. She already knows what she's about. She just needs one specific thing that you can do, that you have, that is going to change the game for her completely. So your client is higher minded and she's more mature, and that's who you need to be speaking to, is someone who is on a different maturity level, and someone who's not coming from pain and coming from a desire for revenge and all this other shit. So instead, you need to be saying things like, this protection spell is going to ensure that people who do not have good intentions for you are not going to be able to get through to you. And you will be able to deflect and push away just energetically on your own. Naturally, you're going to be able to push away people who do not have your best intentions at heart. So your favorite client, especially the rich ones, that's going to be somebody who is ready for their next level, ready for your specific solution that you have, that they're going to be able to get only from you and no one else. And they're going to be ready to pay for it because you're speaking to someone who is coming from a place of power, a place of maturity, a place of knowing who the hell she is, and just needs one or two things to help her go much, much farther. So as soon as you switch from speaking to people who are in fear mode over to speaking to people who are in their power mode, we're going to call it that, power mode, that's going to make all the difference for you. Your business will finally start working for itself, because that's when you start attracting clients who are actually ready for help, ready for real healing, and especially people who are ready for specific results, your results, and they're ready to pay. Someone who's coming from fear mode is not going to be ready for any kind of commitment, or that's not somebody who's going to be able to take things seriously. When you learn how to pay very close attention to how you word things and who you're talking to, you will understand the difference, and you will see right away the difference between speaking to someone who's not ready versus speaking to someone who is. And your business will start fucking paying for itself, because that's going to attract people who are coming from a place of power, who are ready to pay for the help, ready to pay you for your services, ready to go the extra mile, go all the way, get the results, and they're going to turn around and give you good ass reviews as well. So once you speak to someone who's in their power, that's going to change everything for you in your business.